everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on today. Really excited to show you a little bit more about who we are over here at Labster, give you an idea of what we do, content we have, and how we can help enhance some of your courses as well. So to begin, my name is Camilo Echeverry. I am the Regional Director for all of our partnerships. So I'm going to be giving you a little bit of background on who we are, how we help, and if you guys do have any questions, there will be a question box at the end, so feel free to ask any questions you do have. So wanted to cover a few things with everybody today. Who we are, ways simulation improve courses, and then building Labster into these courses, and want to leave some time for some questions at the end. So to give you guys a little bit of background on us, we actually began as an outreach project at the University of Copenhagen back in 2013. So our co-founder, he was actually a PhD student in charge of introductory and general labs, and this is what ultimately led him to developing Labster. He wanted a resource that would better engage his students, something they could interact with, and overall prepare them to come to the lab. But as you guys can see, since 2013, we've grown extremely quick. We have about 170 different simulations, covering a variety of different courses. And something we're really proud of is since the start of this year, we've actually been on track to support well over 3 million students to keep track on their courses. So I guess if that tells you anything, you're not alone in looking for another resource for your students. So really, what I wanted to show here is as we continue to grow, we've quickly realized that there's going to be many different ways that students are going to be able to benefit from simulations. You know, nearly any real world scenario can be simulated. So things like lab safety, mastering techniques, and even though this is a little bit more chemistry based, building molecules, you know, seeing things that they can't see in the real world, they're going to be able to do in our virtual environments. But overall, what these simulations are meant to be is a way to give students the ability to retry and experiment in a safe, cost-effective environment on your students' own terms. So really just to highlight this, you know, from speaking to instructors, professors, deans, chairs, coordinators around the country, this is ways that we've seen simulation improve outcomes the most. You know, we're able to decrease the knowledge gap between your high-performing students and your struggling students. You know, we're available anytime, anywhere for all your students. A lot of them have jobs, they have kids, they have responsibilities, and having a resource like this makes a really big impact for those students. And finally, you know, with a gamified approach to help your students learn the conceptual topics and skill mastery, we're able to improve on a lot of their skills. So I'm going to show you guys this quick video. There's going to be no sound to it, but it'll give you a little bit of a glimpse of different simulations we have in chemistry, biology, physics, and I'll speak about the actual features that are featured in our product. So currently, our platform has just about 170 different simulations, and we release about 15 different simulations every semester, so we're consistently updating this. But each one of these is meant to be a gamified case study covering 1 to 2 lectures and 1 lab practical session. And for your typical student, it's going to take them just about 45 minutes to an hour to complete each one of these simulations. So each of these simulations is actually built around the storyline that links the abstract theory and the techniques covered to the real world application. So as a student in any of your courses, they're actually going to be required to complete every step they would complete in a real wet lab. In doing so, your students are really learning that lab protocol. They're putting on their gloves, they're putting on their lab jacket, they're putting on their goggles. So, I mean, really instead of us just being a simple digitized version of a real lab, the platform allows your students to learn in the way that's really not possible in a real lab environment. We're able to incorporate interactive cellular and molecular visualizations. Each one of these simulations has multiple choice questions built throughout it, and your students have the ability to change the variables, make mistakes. Really, each simulation, we make this using technology easier for you guys. Each one of these simulations is graded, and the platform can be integrated into your learning management system. So Canvas, Blackboard, D2L, Moodle, and a variety of different ones has full integration, so makes it really seamless for your students and for yourself as well. But really what I wanted to dive into is the faculty resource page. I think this is going to be the place where everybody's going to have the ability to try the simulations, be able to play them on their own time, get the real user experience for it. And if this is something you're interested in, please reach out to us and we'll set you up some access. So this is going to be the faculty resource page right over here. So you can do a few things here. You can go on the first part that says getting started, and if you forget everything I'd say, you can refer back to this and they'll give you a little bit of background on how to use the simulations, how to play with them, and overall how to navigate this page. But it's very, very easy. If you go on the simulations tab, you get a breakdown of all the simulations we have. The first one is going to be the complete course package. So this is where you can find over 170 different simulations in a variety of different courses. But if you want to get a more generalized idea of what would align with your course, if you were, let's say, a microbiology instructor, you can click in right here. And this is going to give you a variety of different labs that, just from working with over 3,000 schools throughout the world, this is what we've seen align really well with this course. So if we were to go to aseptic technique, you can do a few things here. So as an instructor that's evaluating Labster for their students, you can do a few things right over here. If you want to, check out this simulation, really get the user experience for it, explore a little bit of how your students should interact with it. You can play the simulation as if you were a student. Again, these do take sometimes 45 to an hour to finish up. So if you want to watch a video of a student doing it or one of my colleagues doing it, feel free to refer here. You could fast forward, you can back up, you can get an idea of what the questions are, the protocols, technique, safety measures are taken in this one. So it's a neat way to quickly evaluate every single simulation without specifically having to play it. I'm sure you guys have your hands full, so it really allows you to get a glimpse without actually having to do the whole thing. But if we go down over here, you can download actually a PDF document of the quiz questions. These are great for when you decide to use Labster. You can get these questions, ask them on quizzes, ask them on tests, and overall just get a better idea of what your students are being asked in these simulations. And right down here is going to be the theory page. We align up a textbook called OpenStax, so we're going to use the same theories as them, and that'll be found right there. But also, the storyline of everything your students are going to be doing is going to be front and center right over here. So it'll give you a breakdown of different parts of the simulation, what your students are trying to do, and the techniques are going to be broken down right here. I'm sure you guys have techniques you have in your course, and they have it in our simulations as well. And one of the best parts about this is we have all the learning objectives broken up here. So if you wanted to essentially compare your syllabus with our syllabus, with our simulation in comparison to the learning objectives, this is a really easy way to reference that. So if you guys are interested in getting some access to this, please feel free to reach out. Our team is happy to get you guys set up. We can get you guys 2 weeks free access, try it out, play all the simulations you want, play one of them, watch the videos. It's a great way to really interact with this. And going back over here, really there's a variety of different ways that Labster can be deployed in all your courses. The first one, a fully online lab course. So these simulations would be assigned weekly and complete as a graded lab assignment, giving students access to something they typically wouldn't have. On the other hand, in a flipped classroom environment, students would complete a simulation prior to the week's lecture, and that's actually going to give them an idea about the topics and techniques that may be applicable to when you're covering in class. So these will be a graded homework assignment. So they will not only be on the same page as you, but we will have graded work in your grade book for that specific week. And finally, pre-lab exercise. So students are actually going to be able to complete simulations of an experiment similar to the one that you're actually going to be doing in the wet lab prior to coming to your lab. So when they actually arrive to your lab, they're actually going to have an idea of something similar and they'll be familiar with what you're about to do. So it's going to free up more time for you, your lab coordinator, teaching assistants to actually help out with the experiment itself and not just the setup. And give me 1 second. Kind of getting a better idea of really how we can work with your course. If we click on pre-lab exercise here, we've worked at the University of Florida for quite some time now, and they were able to get really key outcomes from using Labster that they specifically needed. So we were overall able to reduce costs of their experiments, increase access to lab apparatus and experiments, and the most amazing part about all this is students ended up getting a deeper understanding of the content. They were able to interact with it more, engage with this material more, and because of that, they were able to increase their knowledge. So this slide specifically, what I wanted to really pinpoint on is it's actually a 2016 study from BMC Medicine, which really highlighted clearly that Labster's virtual lab simulations improve knowledge, motivation, and self-efficacy of students of all knowledge level. However, the most significant impact was for the low knowledge students. And as a result, the knowledge gap was dramatically decreased across the cohort. So something we're really proud of. But really, guys, in closing, Labster is meant to benefit your students in a variety of different ways. So these are realistic simulations with actual real-life problems to solve. With immersive animations, interactive quizzes, and the ability to make mistakes, I think it's, tying all these things together really makes our platform really strong for courses, supplementing, or, even taking courses online. So really, once we determine that Labster's actually a good fit for your course, the first step is really doing custom course mapping. We have a team of instructors here that can align your syllabus with our simulation. So we can collect your syllabus from you, and then sometime, in the next few weeks, we can essentially go about it and see exactly which simulations align directly with your course, while you have the chance to really evaluate the platform, see the simulations that work out. And once we finalize those simulations you will use, our customer success team will connect you with your IT department to integrate into your learning management system. And these are just a few that we're compatible with. We're also compatible with Google Classrooms. And really, finally, once that's complete, you guys as an institution can purchase Labster on behalf of your students, or your students can purchase access to Labster through your school bookstore or directly through us. And really, the whole process could be completed within a week, giving you back time to focus on your current semester and not worry about what platform, what technology to use, or how to deliver this content to your students. And that is really all I had in store today for you guys. Really happy that I got the chance to show you guys a little bit of who we are, what we do, and really hope that you learned something new today with our platform. And we're definitely looking forward to hearing from you soon. If you guys want to hop onto our website and write us a message, or my email was on the first slide. It is echeverry@labster.com. We'd be happy to answer any questions you have. But if anybody does have any questions, feel free to ask them now. Professor Schnack, I see that you're inquiring about the single sign-on for Schoology. I believe all our LMS integrations are going to be single sign-ons. But yeah, in terms of is there integration with Schoology, support for single sign-on? Yes, we integrate with both of those. So it's going to be a pretty seamless transition if you're using that one. We pretty much integrate with all the big LMSs. There's some off that we sometimes don't, but 99% of the time we will. And if anybody does have any other questions, please feel free to ask them on here. So I have a question here. I teach cells and genetics for fifth graders. Do you think this will be helpful? We haven't, we work typically with the high school and higher education market. We currently don't have simulations that probably would align with what you're looking for, but it's something that we're consistently rolling out and updating. So in the future, there's definitely going to be room for that, but I think right now they might be a little bit too advanced for your students. So I see someone asked that they're teaching a class next semester for the Department of Chemical Engineering at Imperial College in London, and this involves bioprocess analytics and tissue engineering. Yes, you can definitely, we have packages to buy specific simulations. Most of our packages you get a certain amount. So if, let's just say you buy a package of 8 simulations, the starter package, you can use up to 8 simulations. We don't sell specific ones, but we sell more per student. So if that's something you are interested in, please feel free to reach out to our team and we can give you that. And I see that someone asked, students have individual accounts. Yes, students do have individual accounts. They have their own grades. They have their own metrics they have in there. Students can't buy it without being part of actual school. But yes, they are going to have their own individual accounts where they can work from, do all their simulations from, and have their own area there. So we have two packages for our pricing. It's $49 a student for an 8 simulation package with no LMS integration. Or on the other hand, we have unlimited amount of simulations, LMS integration for $99 a student. And Olivera, you said, can I apply for the free 2-week trial? Yes, we're more than happy to grant faculty access to exactly what I showed you guys. If you'd like to send me an email, I'm typing it over to you right now, and I can make you an account. That way you can have that handy, try out the simulation as well. I got a question saying, how many people are in your team over at Labster? We have probably over, I would say over 150 different people in a variety of different places over there, but we're consistently growing. We've grown our customer success team and our student support team a lot. So we're growing at a really fast pace right now. So I got a question, are there dissections? So there's a few ones that that do involve dissections. We are working on releasing some more simulations directly for that in different types of animals and different types of scenarios. For the meantime, it's a little bit slim on the dissections section of it, but it's something that we are consistently developing, and we should have some more in the next coming months. And any help for assessment? Is there a way we could test students through simulation? Yes, so each one of these is going to be individually graded. For every student, they're going to have a grade. So they all consist of about 10 to 25 different questions throughout these. And once students actually answer these, they are going to have a grade. So you can use that as a test, you can use that as a quiz, but they all are going to be automatically graded assignments that are going to be integrated into your LMS. So I got a question here, which VR hardware do you recommend? Currently, since Google Daydream stopped supporting, since Google stopped supporting Google Daydream, we really don't work too much in the VR aspect of it. We work more on the web-based version of it. So students are doing it with any computer they have, anything in that case. The reason for that is it's a lot more scalable. It's a lot more cost efficient. So it works out a lot better doing it from just a typical web-based function. But we do have about 100 simulations that are already available for VR, which they will still work on the Google Daydream, but Google's not supporting it anymore, so it should be rolling out at the end or at the beginning of 2021. So I'm getting a little bit of some question about students may not have stable internet access. Really, our platform doesn't require any downloading of any software, things in that sense. We typically like to say if students can watch a 10-minute YouTube video, they can load a simulation of Labster. We do have best practices like don't have a million different tabs open on their browser, use Google Chrome, clear their cookies and cache. But typically, if they have the basic memory that we require for this, there's no downloading or anything needed. So with pretty decent Wi-Fi, there should be no issue if students can load typically a 10-minute YouTube video. And is Labster completely based on web version? Currently, it's the most scalable version. It's a lot more efficient in getting this out to students using that version because it's cost effective, it's scalable, and it's easy. Every student pretty much has a laptop. And how can I get quizzes from you? So with the faculty resource page, we can grant you guys 2 weeks access for being instructors or professors. And in there's going to be the quizzes directly in the simulations, which you can explore them, or you could download a PDF document of them. So do high schools qualify for institution-wide programs? Yes, they do. It's a little bit different from higher ed, but yes. So high schools will also qualify for that institution-wide program. If you reach out to us through email or through our website, we can give you more concrete pricing. It depends a little bit more on tiers, so how many students in this whole school are going to use this. So it says, can we have a virtual lab and do our own experiment? our simulations are already pre-made. We align with a lot of courses already based off just the concepts, the topics, the techniques that you're trying to cover, just in a different environment. You as an instructor can have your own course, run it however you want, and students can do this as a pre-lab supplement. So when they're going to your course, they're more prepared to do exactly what you would want them to do, have the right safety procedures, have the right topics, techniques, so everything in that case. So yeah, you can have your own experiment in there while using our virtual lab. Brian, I see, are there individual sign-ons for students? It depends. If we're going based off an LMS integration, no, it's a single sign-on, just like they're going onto Canvas, Blackboard, that's all they have to do. If we're going through our platform, Labster Direct, they can just sign on there, register their account, and that's it. It's really, really easy. Does anybody else have any more questions? Please reach out to us. I did send out my email, but I'll pull up the screen where my email is as well. That way you guys have that handy. Feel free to send me an email. Any specific questions you have, pricing, content, getting access to that, and I can pinpoint you guys in the right direction as well. All right, thank you everybody. And please, let me see, give me 1 second. Yeah, we've worked with quite a few universities with, of course, with everything going on for education grants. So if that is an option, we're happy to work with that and get that going for you guys and help you guys coordinate a little bit of the hurdles, but process is really easy in terms of contracting and invoicing. So we're really flexible in getting this going. We want this to be rolled out to as many students as possible. So I know that a lot of schools have used grant funding, the CARES money, things in that case, to really allow their students to have a resource like this. All right, thank you guys. My email is on the screen. Please feel free to send over an email. Any questions or anything, happy to help.